Are you daring to rip apart your favorite comfy chair? Hey Gems, today I'm going to teach you how to make an upholstered chair. I know we probably all have that old chair sitting in our storage, our basement, or even in our living room still. I'm going to show you how to fix it up. Continue watching. Well, if you do, you all know it's super comfortable and you love it with all your heart, but it's time for a little facelift. So to start off with, it's time to remove its skin, its layer. It's time to remove the ugly fabric. So I decided to use some pliers and really just rip it off. Start with the seam, and that is the easiest way to get down to it, is pull off. You'll see, like, as you see, there is the seam. Start pulling from there and it gets so easy and it's actually a lot of fun. Once you do that, we're going to take off the back layer or the back panel, whatever you would like to call it, and rip that off like a band-aid. It's not that easy. So once we move the fabric, it's time to move the foam and the batting. As you see, this is a tufted chair. So basically, I'm going to, how it's here, the buttons are like pulled through this string and then multiple strings and nailed in all the way around. So what I'm going to do is basically undetach all these buttons, reuse the string, and we're going to try to make these silver buttons and staple the back to the same spot. Or we're going to put the fabric on and then staple the back. So the bottom half is still on, but we're going to basically just simply unattach all of these. I'm not going to show. I'm going to remove the buttons. So I basically just slightly pull it out from underneath of the staples, because I'm going to actually reuse those buttons and just give them a little zhuzh, put my new fabric on top of it. I took my fabric and actually just glue gunned it on and made new buttons. And so once I did that, it's time to lay your fabric over your chair. I actually got my fabric from Valley Village. It was an old curtain and I think I got it for like $4. So that is actually a good place to find fabric for your DIYs. If you have like a smaller project that you don't need too much fabric, definitely go check out your local like thrift stores. So what I'm going to be doing is laying it over the chair and basically following the pattern of where the holes go, and I'm going to mark it off so I know exactly where the holes are going to be, and I kind of poked a hole with my scissors and used a pencil to mark it also. So once I did that, I'm going to actually tuck it in and feel for where it's actually going to lay, and now I'm going to lace the buttons through. Alright, so then we're just gonna go in, see the back right there, take that and pull, focus. I'm just gonna pull on it. Or staple gun and just staple it right there. See where these staples are? So you pull it and staple it, and then repeat that for all of them. Pretty simple. Pull it through, grab it, staple it. It's like how these were, that's where the old spot was. Grab it, staple it, and then there you go. And do it for all of them. Let's go. Oh, my light's not on. I was like, why is it so dark? I have one of my lights off. That's okay. Basically, I like to start with the middle one first, and then I do the top row, and then I'll move on to the next row. Or I can do the bottom row up, it doesn't really matter. But I do like to start with the first one, and then I do the second, kind of measure them out, so as you see I put this one in. So now I'm pulling them back as tight as I can, making sure the creases are how I like them. Obviously the top is not going to be like this yet because the top is not connected. But I didn't go to this one yet just because I seen that these were pulling when I would try to put the next one in. I noticed they were kind of falling out the button. So what I decided to do is just do the second two, now I'm doing the next outer corner one. So basically, where is it? You have the back, the button. You're gonna pull as tight as you can. You're gonna notice folds and creases. Before, actually, I am stepping on a screw. Before actually nailing it down, make sure you like the folds, because once the folds are there and it's stapled, it's gonna be like that. So basically I pulled it back down a little bit, see how these folds are gonna match up. But yeah, so basically just make sure these folds kind of match. Like I have a strong fold here, so I'm gonna kind of pull this one down, so when I get to the button over here, I'm gonna have a nice little V shape. See how that, instead of just having a like bold and then just having it flimsy, I'm gonna have a V shape. And just make sure the rest of your folds are to your liking. So that's roughly a good idea of what I want it to look like. Pull it as tight as I can. Hopefully you guys can hear me because I'm talking down. Pull it as tight as I can, go to the back, and then staple it up. So now that we have all the tufting done, we're now going to pretty much tighten the top, and I'm going to staple the back, and then afterwards we're going to do the bottom seat and go from there. So all I'm going to do basically is just tug and smooth it out as much as I can and get the creases to the way that I like, and then afterwards I'm going to staple it in the back, and then we're going to work on the bottom seat. How we're going to do that, haven't thought to myself yet what I exactly want to do yet, but when I figure that out, you will find out. So basically right now we're just going to work on doing the top and then the sides. I don't like how wrinkly it is like that, so we're going to actually tug, and like I said, it's pretty much all about just working with the fabric and making the creases sit how you want it to. But first we're going to do the top. Let's go. Now after that, it's now time to get stapling. I basically stapled the back panel first to make sure it was smooth and even, and you really want to make sure whatever staple, whatever button you're going to put in, you have to make sure the creases are how you like it, because you can't fix it after that. And I just stapled all the way around the chair and lightly pulled it and made it nice, snug, and tight. See, if I was just to pull like that or something, it wouldn't match. So basically what I do, I just kind of pull the rest of it, see where it's going, make sure the front is exactly how I want, kind of grip it so it's not going to mess up, and then from there, that's when I start to play with the folding so not to get as many creases. And then just kind of take it, go for the wood, and then go like that, so you don't have like a bulge of fabric filling there. And then basically you're just going to work your way down. I have to cut some of the fabric, it's too much, but I'm just going to follow now the shape of the chair all the way down. But now for this side here, basically I tucked in where the fabric is going to be sewn in the inside. Now I just want to get this here to be more flush and less like this. So I'm just going to take my scissors. And there you go. So basically when I sew this part in, it's going to be smooth. But basically, I'm going to have at least this side flat. There we go. Go. With this fabric, what I'm going to do is just take it, make sure it's straight, tug it under, pull. I actually ended up losing the clip to how I installed the foam back onto the back of the chair. It's simple. The same way you put on the batting is the same thing I did for the foam. and you just stapled it all around and traced the chair because it's already cut out. It's already like drawn out for you how it's gonna go. So basically how to do the back fabric panel is you're going to drape the fabric over the chair and staple the actual inner layer of the fabric down to the chair. So when you flip it over, you're not going to see the staples in the actual chair. I'm going to staple all along the perimeter, then I'm going to flip the fabric back over. So basically right now I'm stapling and you guys will see once I'm ready to flip it over. Okay, so now I've stapled all the way through. So take the fabric. So I did the same thing as just staple all the way around the chair and connect the back. Now from here, for some reason my footage is gone, but that little rope piece that you see me take off before, I actually used the excess fabric with a glue gun and lined that with my fabric, and then I glued it back onto the chair. So that's basically how you end it off. And now I'm going to show you what it looks like, because this used to look very, well, let me show you one more time. So that is the end of my video, gems. I hope you liked it and try it out for yourself. I do kind of want to make a Dalmatian print out of it. Maybe I'll do that in the future. Let me know if you tried doing any upholstery yourself before. I did upholster my headboard myself, and I also upholstered my vanity chair, and I don't know if it came out yet. I'm not sure what one's coming out first, but definitely subscribe, because I'm going to have a plethora of DIY videos for you guys to watch. Okay, so like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time, gems. So that's the end of the video. If you liked this one, well, guess what? I have many more. Just click over there. Did you click it yet? I didn't click it yet. Come on, click. I got more videos.